and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the San Antonio Dreadnoughts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams make their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Antonio Dreadnoughts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for our visiting San Antonio ball club, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. That's it, baby. Here comes this offense to take over for the first time. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
I love this quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play for the scrimmage.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production. But I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaches that really get something outside motivated. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the run.
From the gun, it's a run for 3. That'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Let's go.
The numbers for Freeman a week ago. There's an numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Right now, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So get it.
Either way, the team that wins that auction.
Get him down as he's inside the 40. Good game of 14 there, moves and chains. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, it had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. First down. He's taken down. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They run. Devontae Freeman. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back, but it's still a 3rd and 8.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Screen play, Anderson. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. Barkley with a carry on 1st down, and he'll get about 4, so 2nd and 6 forthcoming. The numbers for him from a week ago: 12 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Back to throw, Newton. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People wonder what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself Before a playoff game, he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
Freeman. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the 50 at Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey!
Now Saquon Barkley. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy. I've been protected.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? #1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. #2 goal is win your division. #3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. Complete to Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And he's going to be taken second down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Brian Burns, his second sack of the night.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
This is Freeman. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this will remain a scoreless game. So 2 missed field goals for him now. That's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. 25 yards that time.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10, as they've got things rolling on this drive. Barkley, they'll get the first down and more inside the 20, and finally taken down at the 20-yard line. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Check, 93's the mic, 93.
Cam fakes the give and keeps it. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Kyle Van Noy. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Two minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On second down, here's Barkley. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Third and long, it's Newton. He is going to find Hill here. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. Throwing is Newton. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown number 15 of the year, as his guys are on the board first here tonight.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point try good by Gano, and that makes the score 7-0. That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. He completes it to Jones. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, it's Stafford. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Gets it off to Freeman. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
We'll go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was the visitors from the north, the Vikings, who were able to get the road victory. A 3-touchdown differential in the end. 35-14, the final. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Allen Robinson, well over 100 yards with 2 touchdown catches to boot. And then finally, we wrap up the week with a good one on Monday Night Football between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Time for our players spotlighted and focuses in here on Cam Newton. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll run with Barkley. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. They complete it to Hill. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A toss out to Barkley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
That's what I'm
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. Watch the screen. Pass. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. 8. Twins.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Desmond King picks it. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Gun. 20.
On 2nd down, Barkley. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Phillips gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
20.
They'll run it with Johnson. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Okay, 180. I don't think you got it, sir.
On 3rd down, Richard. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run with Barkley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On the run, it's Barkley. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On 2nd down now, Barkley. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a second time for 6 points.
Gano the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Stafford on 1st down. That's caught by Jackson. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Stafford looks to throw again. He'll hit Jackson. Complete.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Stafford swings it out to the flat for Freeman. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for... And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Gun.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches.
20. It's a party now. It's a party now.
Throwing here, Newton. He's going to walk. He's got him in. Complete. The 20. 10. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Tyreek Hill. 78 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic, faking it. I got to understand. You want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smells terrible. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out here and we'll do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Now the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen. despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
This carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, but not much room to operate. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Stafford. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Gun. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey! Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day.
From his goal line here, Newton. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Newton. And going deep for Hill. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
20. They're not ready for this. They still.
Newton's going to throw it. He's going to float this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the 2nd half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a 2nd half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Pittsburgh, the win is their 8th on the year, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for San Antonio, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire...
With the game, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you